Hello, everybody. It's
Hello.
us, the Paper Dungeon, here on Table Scraps
Oh,
Thursday
let
at
me guess.
1:30 p.m. CST. It's a thing that we do. It's a show we run on Thursdays about the show that we run on Mondays, where we play
Because
Dungeons and
we need
Dragons
content.
First Edition. Hey, no, this is just a chill place to talk to the three people that watch us. And just so you all know, if you didn't notice, I'm joined today by the McKellips brethren, DJ
Oh,
and Drew. Regal, very proud of you for slogging through all those episodes to almost catch up to where we are in the main campaign.
that's impressive. That's a lot of
Podcast.
that's a lot of episodes
Oh
to
yeah,
to go through.
and a
Yes.
whole lot of them aren't very good.
There
Well,
are
there
definitely a
are
couple filler episodes
there's yes.
within the story arc.
Just a few,
For
or an arc.
we have maybe
Hey,
one too many shopping
oh,
episodes.
what the heck?
Well,
Just
okay.
because that arc didn't go as planned doesn't mean it was just a filler arc.
I
It's
mean, okay,
his-
so in the defense of the pirate arc, that really was barely even an arc about pirates.
Hey, it was going to be, and then you guys
There was a
screwed
lot
it.
of outside of the game stuff that happened at
That
that
is-
time.
That is fair. I'll be 100% honest. I love the pirate arc, but I love making fun of it more.
That's fair. That is very fair.
I do wish we got to do more of the pirate arc of, I don't know, fighting pirates.
I wish that
Well,
I
the
wish that we
beauty
had
of
a
it-
whole campaign just focused around that stuff.
Yeah,
Right,
the
around-
thing about
nothing
it
to do
is
with what
that
we're
I
doing
still
right
have all
Around
of
being
those
just
notes,
on a boat fighting
and
pirates.
so I can throw that in wherever. It's probably not going to happen in the rest of this campaign, but maybe
Hey,
second or
Patreon
third
mini campaign.
Yeah, or maybe we
Oh,
could do
yeah.
a mini campaign. Maybe we could do some Patreon content or something. Yeah,
Maybe, well, yeah, no.
maybe,
knows?
maybe not.
secrets.
Either
Maybe not.
way, I have some obligatory plugs that DJ will kick me off of the cast if I don't do. So check out a couple of things. First of all, we have social media: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Those are on a bit of a down right now. I'm trying real hard. I'm not good at it, so I haven't made any good TikToks or anything yet to upload, but I'm working on it. So keep an eye on that. We have a website, www.thepaperdungeon.com, where we have a merch store, and on that merch store you can buy cool like shirts and stuff and coffee mugs. Maybe. I don't know if we could get the coffee mug on there. I can't remember. But you can buy all sorts of things
I
with our
don't think
logo.
the coffee mug is a thing anymore.
I don't think because
I
the
think
coffee mug had a weird
we sold
pricing
like
thing.
we sold one coffee mug and then realized, oh, we're like losing $5 per coffee mug.
Yeah, because man, Squarespace, right? You can check that video out on our Patreon.
Oh my gosh, that's such a good video.
Check out our Patreon. That is a great way to support us if you want to do a little bit of supporting outside of the stream. Of course, you can always subscribe over here on Twitch. Check out Twitch Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch subscription. We would much appreciate having us be your monthly choice. We also have Streamlabs donations and Ko-Fi. So check out all those if you want to support us. That would be a really awesome thing to do. Of course, always just bring your friends. It's a good option.
That is probably the best way to support us, is
Yeah,
to share us and bring
just
your friends.
more people being here is pretty banging for us.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I went out of order. Oh, our Discord. If you're not on our Discord, what are you doing? That's like
we
the only
forget the
reason
Discord.
to even be a part of anything that we do. Slowly, I'm gaining more time, so I'm able to interact with the Discord more. I'll be sending out check around like once next year happens, January, February. Like, keep an eye on that Discord because I'm going to be asking for like test groups for RPGs and stuff like that. A whole bunch of things. I'll be streaming sometimes in that Discord. We've been doing it a couple times now. Speaking of which, who knows, a little bit of a interesting thing that I heard literally before we started streaming. DJ may be able to play some games on
Maybe.
on an actual computer and stream it on the Discord. So it'll be a thing. Just keep an eye out. Right now we're in a pretty slow period. We've got a lot of stuff going on. A bunch of crazy things are happening. So we've had to sacrifice a little bit of our regular Paper Dungeon nonsense. But speaking of Paper Dungeon nonsense, I have had two incredible segues in the past 5 minutes.
That's true. You know what I just realized, though, that makes me incredibly sad?
What?
We don't have a Table Scraps intro.
Oh yeah, it's something that I've talked about with Grant for like 2 years.
We should make a little like wacky like table scraps intro. That'd be so fun.
You could cheat and use the filing cabinet intro that we have for the thing that we did once.
Oh man,
Yes,
and
we did
that was a
that.
banger intro too.
Although that's actually a really outdated intro, but
But it was a banger intro.
We'll talk.
it was-
We'll figure some
We'll-
things
we'll
out.
figure
We have a
something. We'll
meeting
do a thing.
tonight, so we'll try and figure out some
We-
priorities for
yeah,
the
a
year.
bit of insight into the how TPD runs as a company.
Barely.
But tonight
Hobbling
the
with crutches.
the staff has a meeting, so who knows? Maybe something will happen.
Who knows? Probably not.
If you want
But
us
we'll
to
give it a
be
shot.
able to be a little more on top
I'm a
of
terrible
things,
person.
bring your friends because that allows us to
Mhm.
do more stuff. So
And it
Throwing shade at
encourages
my own
us when we
company.
know that we have the eyes of the public watching our every move.
it's
There we
for
go.
us.
We just need to, from now on, we just need to have a small council of people that like sit in on the meetings, just to be like, all right, so you guys said you're going to do this, so
Yeah.
So where is it?
Yeah, our people's representative.
Uh-huh. we just need like Maz or Wanders.
Yeah, we just need to get
sit
a-
in with
Get
us.
them on in there. All right, gang. This past Monday, we had our main campaign stuff going on. Stuff
What a wacky episode.
has been occurring in the main
Yeah.
campaign, believe it or not. A little to sum it
No
up,
filler episodes this arc.
unless
At least not yet.
we're working on it. All right. But the kind of current situation that we have is Kiyomura has made a return to the campaign after finally. By the way, this is going to be a whole bunch of spoilery stuff. So if you're not looking for spoilers, this is going to be a rough time. Kiyomura, who has been gone since like episode 20 something, we've been keeping track of him, so on and so forth. We're pretty sure that he's going to be evil. It's going to be a real bad time. But he shows back up and he's like, yo, I found a way to resurrect Melora because that's been weighing very heavily on my mind. And we're like, I'm not sure if that's a good idea. And he's like, hey, I just want your support in this. And we're like, God dang it, you're hot. I'm in. And so we resurrect Melora. It works flawlessly. I have no complaints. And that leads us to this past episode. Melora is resurrected. We get a whole bunch of info. And also, thank you, Hans, for representing the Paper Dungeon as Maz today. As our
thanks.
honorary
I'm the honorary
moderator.
Maz in chat today.
As he is driving. Aw.
Yep. Shout out to
Right.
Maz. He has like a 10-hour drive or something today.
Wow, what a trooper.
Wow.
And shout out to Hansgate. You have been incredible support for everyone involved in the Paper Dungeon.
Yeah, you're awesome.
But yeah, we resurrect Melora. My favorite part about the conversations with Melora is Amity has no idea who this person is. And just spilling the beans on every possible
On everything.
thing.
Totally putting everybody else on blast by
Literally
accident.
everything.
It's so funny.
Oh man.
trying to have some certain personal conversations in a respectful, private, tactful way, and then Amity just like, what?
Abinthy-
You guys dated?
Abinthy is
Abinthy
like
has
the
no tact.
conversational version of the Kool-Aid Man. Like you guys are like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to tell you of this. It's terrible. And then Abinthy's like, Tarak is dead! Just like bust through a wall. But yeah, so Melora's back. We have a nice little banquet. Abinthy gets absolutely sloshed with Wisteria Vale, the leader of Wisteria Vale, a city named
That was
after
such
them.
an interesting conversation.
It was. Abinthy
really
doesn't
good.
know what to do with this person. I'll be 100%
I-
honest. Abinthy's like, look, this would be way more understandable to me if you just like punched me in the face. Like that's a much more understandable reaction. Like then we can get over it. But you being like, no, I'm already over it. Abinthy's like, shut up.
But I'm
suck.
not over it, so you shouldn't be over it.
Yeah, I don't. You are the worst. And then and then Cather goes to have a talk with his girlfriend, who is unimportantly also a god. Minor detail
Minor
in the
detail.
conversation. Spoiler, not actually a spoiler. This is just some world fact. Gods not allowed on the material plane. They get hunted down by Fae. We've been ignoring that one for years. Comes back to bite us hard. As Cather goes and has his, I don't know why, but it felt very much like Abinthy only shows up after the time skip. So once we go on break, Abinthy will come back, or well, will show up. I will say.
Yeah,
Um,
you'll get to meet him for the
So
first time.
once you
Or
start
you can
book
also
2,
meet him for the first time on Patreon.
yes, on Patreon.
Man, we're really shamelessly plugging that right now. That one episode that we
that's
have,
right.
that's the only Patreon
That's
content
right.
we
Hey,
have.
we're working on it. All right, we're working on it. That's one of the things we'll talk about in the meeting. Setting up an actual schedule for release dates of stuff. That's what we got to do.
Good.
Oh, yo, sup, Maz? You should not be messaging while you're driving.
Maz, what are you doing? Stop. Do not text
Hey,
drive.
Maz,
love
I
you,
appreciate
but,
you
like,
tuning
stop.
in, even just momentarily, to say hi to all of us and as to give a
You
disclaimer.
should
Hey, you are
definitely
still
leave it
Maz.
open on your phone so we get
Don't respond to any of the things that we said or was messaged to you unless you
Hands,
are
don't ask him
stopped.
questions.
Anyway.
Gas
But
break.
yeah.
Hey, there you go. Yeah.
But for some reason, anytime that Cather talks with a significant other, I'm reminded of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, and I'm not sure why.
Is it
Like-
because he's
like-
always right there, almost able to save them before they die?
Oof. No.
That's
it's
rough.
just something about the conversational pattern.
Oh.
And the way that they
I'm
talk.
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, where Cather is Andrew Garfield and your significant other is insert whoever Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man significant other was for 2 movies.
Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't know, but that's just for some reason I get a vibe from it. I'm like, that reminds me.
I
But
get that. I understand that.
it doesn't relate in any way, and I don't know why.
I mean, I'm personally speaking, I'm okay with Cather being Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
I mean, yeah, Andrew Garfield is my favorite Spider-Man. That's you're welcome.
Yes.
Sure.
Anyway, where were we going?
Well,
with
I was just explaining
Well, that was
general,
just a
general
recap.
look over. You go
Yeah.
have an Andrew Garfield meet up with your girlfriend.
and then we get attacked by Faye.
And then the Arc-Fae show up, 4 of them, and they're like, "You stepped into the wrong church, Sonny." And then three other gods, or there are 3 gods show up. 2 gods,
Two other gods.
2
so
other
there's
gods. So
three
it's still a 3v4 plus Cather, who is
Plus Cather.
0.1,
It's-
0.1 of a god.
I don't know if you talk to Edward, he's at least a 0.2.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Well, Edward is bad at math, so.
So yeah, fun times.
Sorry, I was
Now,
was
do
reading
I
the
suppose
thing.
does Cather become 0.5 of a demigod when he becomes a 20th level paladin?
Sure.
Yeah,
You can be
Okay.
half of a half god. Yes.
I
That-
could be a quarter god.
that warrants Apathy killing you.
Well, no, he's not immortal.
Who said anything about?
No,
Because-
the
because-
immortality does matter.
Because that's the big thing with Abinthy. Somebody who's immortal shouldn't mess on the material plane.
Yeah, he's more okay if you're Then again, well, are you your own god or are
Abinthy
you
wants
like
to
a?
achieve eternal life. What the heck?
Oh yeah, well,
Abinthy's a
it's a
total
struggle for
hypocrite.
Abinthy. It
Well,
really
no.
is.
Well, because
He loves
Aaron and I have
someone
had
who
this
is
conversation on
immortal.
table scraps before.
Right? So he loves someone who is immortal, and he doesn't want to leave them because he's afraid of what will become of them when he is gone. But at the same time, he loves mortality. He loves the mortal races.
Mhm.
And so it's a struggle for him for which one of the loves does he choose to keep. Goodbye, DJ.
No, I'm still here. I just realized that my shirt's inside out, so I'm gonna just change real quick.
Well, thank you
I
for
know,
turning
now-
off your camera on that one.
And now the overlay is all messed up.
It's
Yep.
fine.
The
Drew's
I
DJ
was
for
the overly
now.
messed up.
For some reason,
I
when you
stayed in
turned
the
your
exact
camera
same
off, it
spot.
moved your camera on our screens.
Huh.
But who knows? Maybe it'll pop back up. Otherwise, I
Sorry.
can just flip it around.
Here,
if it
give me
doesn't work.
2 more seconds. I'm just fixing something.
You're
All
good.
right, we're back.
Okay,
baby.
let me just move some. Ooh, that's not what I wanted. I'm going to attempt to speak while doing this at the same time, and I cannot guarantee success. But yeah, Abinthy really
Hey.
struggles with does he choose to Oh, I'm struggling.
Aaron, are you
gang.
moving the like our images on Streamlabs and then
Yes.
oh, okay. I figured you just move them on Zoom because that's way faster and easier.
Oh shoot, you are so absolutely correct.
Give us 1 second.
Hold on.
I
Now
broke
mine's in the
something.
wrong space. We did it. We're good.
So, oh look at that, we fixed it.
Good job, Aaron. You did it.
Amazing.
You're welcome. There we go. Nice. We did it. We accomplished greatness. But what was I saying? Yes. Abinthy struggles with which one of the loves will he give up?
His love of people or his love of Glacia?
Yeah. And so he's it's a big struggle for him, and he knows that he's probably going to go with the immortality because he will if he does become immortal, he will just remove himself from the workings of the mortal world. That is his goal.
Interesting. You're really not going to like some of the things that come up.
No. I am aware of this.
Yeah. You're going to be like, yo, everything, we should just sit back because everything is being put into its rightful order.
I'm down with straight up all of the like if the gods, demons, and devils fight, I'm fine as long as it isn't on the material plane.
I make no promises for anything.
Abinthy has no problems with that. He's like,
Now,
oh,
see,
you're
now
fighting
here's my question.
like in hell, not a problem.
Aaron, if for instance Abinthy was immortal and the gods, demons, devils, and fae and all them did decide to fight on the material plane, would Abinthy then intervene?
Abinthy, first of all, Abinthy would take preventative measures. Second of all, Abinthy would, I think he would, yes.
That's probably an overall good thing.
He wouldn't focus on saving mortals' lives. He would focus on
his focus would be on
immortals.
fighting the immortal things. Yeah,
because in some strange way, it is natural for the repercussions of immortals fighting amongst themselves to affect mortal people. He's okay with that. What he doesn't like is when they specifically intervene with specifically mortal problems.
Mm-hmm.
So like if two gods of fire fight and a volcano erupts, that's just going to happen. In the same way that like if two armies fought each other, but there was a connecting strip of land between them, that strip of land is going to get messed up. And they had nothing to do with the problem. But if the like gods or demons are specifically manipulating mortal perception to further their own gain, then he's got words, and his hands are rated E for everyone. Like,
hey, this is good to know.
So that's Abinthy's perception. I do love his struggle with. I love something that I intrinsically hate. That was something that I was like, I really want to see if I can bring that out with Abinthy. And you are right, Abinthy is 100% a hypocrite.
Yeah.
And he is aware of it too.
Well, I mean, but it's hard to find someone who's truly not a hypocrite.
Oh yeah, everyone
there's always something that you preach but don't practice, which is, I think, a kind of a cool. It's not a very well displayed or portrayed kind of character trait.
Oh yeah, well, it's very tough.
Yeah,
I'm struggling with it now.
Super tough. So, yeah, I think that's cool. That's very unique perspective.
I think I may have mentioned, it may have even been on Table Scraps that I mentioned it, but a while ago, Renaya asked Glacia what are Glacia's ideas? Because Glacia and Tripwitz differ greatly on their perceptions of how things should work with the like Halak and things, and how like what would happen if Asmodeus was dethroned or anything like that. Where Glacia is like, oh no, I believe in his vision, but I want Abinthy to be there. And Abinthy's like, I think that we should not be doing any of this. Yeah, and then you preach that she does so much, but yeah, exactly. exactly like that. Um, but oh geez. So if like
Wow, I feel called out today
just
by
getting roasted.
yeah.
Well,
Um,
just quit making things immune to necrotic damage, and
I
there you
did
go.
that like literally one time, okay?
I don't even think
And
you
it
did
wasn't
it.
even my fault.
I don't even think you noticed that it had like
I did
immunity to
it when I was
necrotic.
prepping the monster. I didn't go, oh, this is immune to necrotic damage. That will be hard against Renaya. And then I went, hey, here's the monster. And then halfway through the combat, I was like, oh yeah, it's resistant to necrotic damage. Cool. You know? So stop adding
What can I
me.
say, DJ? Rookie mistake.
I'm sad. Hands, you're
um,
definitely right. I'm just here to be bullied. But it's okay. I can take it. I can take it.
but if like the end of times came and the like demons and devils like they fought and Glossius side won and they were like marching on the material plane, Abinthy would fight on the side of the mortals, obviously. And
Mm-hmm.
then but they would just specifically avoid each other, and then whichever side won, they would just admit defeat. So like if it's like, look, there's an army, it's ran by the Duchess Glossia, and Abinthy's like, all right, so we're just gonna skirt that and then go fight a different army. And then
Yeah,
if the
yeah.
mortals win, Glossia would admit like, oh, you're right, I need to not do that. And then if the devils won, uh Abinthy would be like, well, this
That's right.
sucks, but hey, we're here, nothing I can do about it. I'm still love you, babe. And like that's their relationship, is they're like, well, one of us will win eventually.
Fair enough. Yeah, you and Glacia have a really unique and honestly very incredible relationship of absolute mutual respect while being intrinsically enemies,
Yeah,
which
but
is very, very
also
cool.
we're
It's very
both
fun to
just
play out.
incredibly hot.
I mean, yeah, you're both incredible. So it's hard for you not. I mean, it's you guys are a time bomb waiting to go
Yeah,
off. It's
a
fun. It's
time
awesome.
bomb of love.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I'm obviously I'm excited for next episode.
When we
Me
get a
too.
fight for Arcfey.
Oh yeah, Abinthy has been dreaming of this day. Cather
I don't
has
know.
been having nightmares of this day.
I don't know if you guys should fight that.
DJ,
Sure, why
I don't
not?
know if you understand.
Dude,
Uh,
this is our thing.
Abinthy is custom made to just ruin people's dreams. I don't expect to be able to kill anything in this fight. I do expect me to make 7 new enemies.
All of the Arcfey and all three of the gods.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And now, to be fair, I think I'm more likely to make enemies of the Arcfey. But
Very good idea.
I don't think that Abinthy is going to really try like killing things. I think he's mainly just like, okay, these two groups want these two things, and I don't want either of them to have them. So I'm just going to get rid of the things and then make everyone upset. So I'm getting the gods out of there. Right? Because if I hear me out, what if I just teleport the gods away?
What if I just do the thing?
What if I just took Bikini Bottom
and move
and
it
I
over
put
there?
it somewhere else?
Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll see how it goes because there's some things that are gonna happen.
See, Aaron, I'm just curious, how are you going to do that?
Hmm?
Like, how? Because in theory, the saving throws of all these beings are like through the roof.
You see, here's the thing. You gotta look at it this way. You don't need saving throws if they're willing.
Aaron's going to seduce all of them.
Too late, DJ.
I love the fact that Abinthy, our wizard, has taken on the stereotypical role of the
I'm a bard.
bard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so here's my thought, right? Do the gods want to be there?
It just depends.
Well, I mean, HSL has something pretty important that she needs to tell me.
Well, yeah, but you have like dreams, right? I feel like this could have been done at a better point in time. Besides, you can go visit like a temple or something.
I mean, technically, you guys are at a temple.
Yeah, also, what's that god doing? He's just gonna let him tramp
Venenatis?
around? Yeah. He's like, oh man, look at all these Arcfey in my temple. I'm not gonna do anything about that.
Venenatis is a very interesting person. Like, has a very interesting personality. He's pretty removed from everything. And he's extremely selfish. And so,
Oh my
It's kinda like-
god. Is
it's not-
Venenatis just future apathy?
but he's kind of it's not a bad way of putting it. He's kind of like, you know what? I don't really care that they're doing that thing, and it doesn't really actually bother me. So, okay, bye. And he just doesn't really care.
Oh man. That gives me a lot of thoughts as to things that Apathy may be able to do. In the next
At Venenatis'
episode.
temple.
Yeah. Well, I'll save it for Monday. But hear me out. If the gods don't want to be there, then all I have to do is manipulate the battlefield enough to the point where they can all get within 5 feet of each other, and then get close enough that I can just cast plane shift with everyone involved.
Actually,
And so then all of us get out safely, and we're just all on a different plane, and the Arcfang aren't going to do anything about that. That's fine.
it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. This is
I'm just saying-
this is the
I'm
goal.
just saying, DJ, you can't put my quarry in front of me and expect me not to try and hit it.
Hey, you are welcome to try and hit her. She will hit you back, and it will
That's-
hurt.
I
That's
mean,
fine.
he's taken
We've,
it before.
we fought Zestari before.
Fought Zestari.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mean that time when she like walked through all of you guys and then killed your girlfriend and then left,
Okay, just saying, I hit her like at least 2 times.
and she still just walked through you?
Yeah.
I mean, hey, look, I was also only like level 7 then, okay?
Yeah, we're twice as strong as we were before. You're muted, by the way.
Oh wait, I'm muted. You're like Anakin when he's facing Dooku in the 3rd movie. He's like,
Yeah, exactly.
My powers have doubled since the last time we fought. Count.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
It'll definitely be interesting because I honestly I do not like. for
Because
those who
here's
are
my
planning on
thing,
showing
right?
up on Monday,
We're
you guys are gonna fight for like all of 10 or 20 minutes. Like it's not gonna be all that long.
Oh yeah, no.
Here's-
We're gonna win that fast.
Yeah, exactly. But here's my thought, right? So this whole like story arc is us gearing up to fight the Fae anyway. So like this is just a good test round.
The best part is, of the places that I can actually plane shift us to, I'm somewhat limited. Like, I can plane shift us to the Duchess's house. That's not happening.
Oh,
I
you're taking
can-
3 gods into hell.
Just plane shift Atrasil and the rest of the gods off the material plane.
And the best part is, I'm not in an actual
dear.
fight. Glossia loses that, but Glossia's whole thing is that she doesn't really fight stuff. She just
Kinda
turns
dances
them
around
to
and-
her side.
Yeah.
So then it's a real battle of virtue.
See,
Um,
I don't think you could do that with. I mean, okay, let's see. With Malice,
Malkuma and Malkuma might be swayed. Malkuma
yeah, I
could
was
be
gonna say
like-
Malkuma feels like the only one who might be swayed.
Malkuma's kind of edgy like that. He's like, yo, I don't care if they've already committed a crime. I feel like they're gonna commit a crime, so they should die.
Yeah. And, Glossia doesn't commit crimes
No.
herself.
No, no, I mean, it's not like she lives in a prison.
Hey, but the prison is ran by Satan. Therefore, who would Satan want to imprison more than good people?
There you go.
Fair.
Done.
Where are the other places that you could potentially take them?
I could take them to the in-between.
Ooh, that actually could be good. The Arc Fae can't chase us there.
Well, I think that they can't chase us there because they don't know that it's there.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
I think that if I go there, then they might know that it's there.
Nah.
If you take gods to the in between, Miriam Azima will flip out on you.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm then
That's
much more
fine.
concerned for our lives, taking us to the in between. I feel like I could probably also I can teleport us to all of the places that Abinthy knows
You could
they
take him
hate
to
him
this.
at.
You could take them to Sigil, to the waiting room in there
I
in Sigil.
don't think I have any metal pieces from Sigil. Like I don't think I have anything that could resonate with Sigil.
No, I don't think you do either.
I think Abinthy most likely has something that could teleport him to the city of Brass in the plane of fire. Because he is a severely wanted criminal after being at war with with the elemental planes for many years. Probably he doesn't really want to go there. But what matters is I could get us out.
I
Theoretically,
am
if Cather's
so
nearby,
excited for this to backfire.
I could
so
use your
hard.
necklace to teleport us to your gosh dang place.
To the Grove.
Yeah, to the Grove. I show up and I'm like,
I guess that
Hey,
could be one way to gain audience with
While
the
I'm
Death Gods.
here, do you have?
hey,
How
Death
do you know
Gods,
where this person
I
is?
know that I wasn't invited, but I also brought multiple +1s. Um,
But one of them you know and kind of like.
Theoretically, yeah, you're like related, kinda, right? I'm pretty sure. I'm a little out of date on my. He pulls up the God family tree. He's like,
Yeah, exactly.
how is no one related?
It's actually, yeah. I mean, technically,
there's few relations in the pantheon.
there's very few relations in it. There's a few marriages. There's a few children. It's kind of, I think there's more things where it's like someone created something that then became a god. Because there's at least, like with Malice and Tuzamel, those are both creatures that were created by Partum Obis and somebody else, who then were given divinity.
Lore.
So yeah, and then like Atrosil, what isn't one of the original gods, she replaced her dad because
That's
of
a
specific
relation.
reasons.
That will not be explained here.
Yeah, so it's kind of fun. Plus, they're like Ki, the goddess of the moon, is actually, she used to be an Archfey until she straight up yeeted one of the gods. So yeah, it's fun.
And so then they made her a god.
Oh,
well, so the way that it
replaced
works, is that there's an oath that you take when you become a god. There's an oath of divinity and stuff like that. And so when like an Archfey and a god do battle, typically what they're trying to do, the Archfey is trying to get them to yield to the point where they will willingly forfeit their divinity to the Archfey, and then they become a god. And then after that, then you could technically kill the old god or do whatever. So yeah, Ki just did that with the old goddess of the moon. She just kind of showed up and did lots of really horrible things, and then she became a god.
Yeah. Fun.
And that's happened a couple times. So it's very fun. I do enjoy the lore of the Pantheon. It's fun stuff.
Yeah. I'm in next episode. I'm excited to do some combat shenanigans. I'm excited to go to church with Cather.
So next episode, DJ, we're gonna start with our combat, right? I literally just now realized. Literally, we're gonna start the episode. Abinthy and Kath are gonna be fighting these 4 Archfey with 3 other gods, and then Edward's still gonna be at the ball, completely oblivious.
And the best part about it is, just knowing Grant, he's definitely not gonna go back and watch the second half of the episode.
No.
So we're gonna show up and he's gonna be like, "Wait, what's happening?"
I've informed him, and I guarantee you that he will not remember once we get to next Monday. I was like, "Yeah, Grant, this is what happened at the end." He's like, "Gotcha." I'm like, "No, you don't."
No, you really don't.
Grant.
But, yeah.
What a guy.
Grant's awesome.
What an absolute dude.
I want to talk about your conversation with Wisteria.
Okay, I'm willing to talk about it.
Oh, hey, real quick before I forget about it, Aaron. Speaking of Wisteria, where did you get that name?
It was printed. I can show you the book if I had it
It's
with
in
me.
it's in the
In
Candlekeep Mysteries.
Candlekeep Mysteries. Wisteria Vale was not a person. It was just the name of a location, and Chris Perkins wrote it.
Interesting. Okay. The only reason I ask is because there's an anime I've been watching more recently, and one of the names of this royal prince is Zen Wisteria, and I'm just like,
Wisteria is just a like flower or tree. I think it's a tree.
so I was just curious
Someone
because
get on
I
that.
didn't know like
No.
Yeah.
In
If
Candlekeep
it was like-
Mysteries, it's one of the. I don't remember the level that it was played at,
Huh.
but it's one of the things. What is it?
Wisteria is a genus of flowering plant in the legume family.
Oh, it's like a peanut.
Interesting.
Hello,
It's a very
Lydia.
beautiful flower.
It is. They
Wow,
are
it's such
absolutely
a beautiful
gorgeous.
plant.
Oh shoot, are they like purple, like purplish pinkish,
They're purple and kind of
like
like
dangly?
like dangly with,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like mini trees. There's wow, this is an incredibly beautiful plant.
Gotcha. That was the one that I was thinking of.
Yeah. If
and I
for
couldn't
those
remember
of
if
you
it was
at
a tree or
home
not.
who can't see what we're looking at, you should look up wisteria because it's a beautiful plant. I want one now.
of course you do.
But yeah,
How,
I did
how do you
not
think
come
your
up with a name.
conversation went?
As I said, Apathy is. I mean, Wisteria herself. Apathy was weirded out by for a lot of reasons. One of the reasons is, first of all, he's not sure what Wisteria is. Like, she's old enough to know someone that comes from trial.
Yeah.
So, like, clearly, like, there's a couple of options.
Mhm.
One, she just took the like level 20, like the epic
Immortal
boon
boon.
that just makes you immortal, which is possible.
Mhm.
She's been heavily using the clone spell, which
Just every 20 years, you know.
yeah, you just revitalize yourself. Got to do what you got to do.
Mhm.
Or she is a fae, because theoretically she also could have been masking herself, so she could be something other than a fae. Because Cather used the divine sense. So
Yeah,
either
and
A,
she
she's
wasn't
being
undead.
masked,
So she's probably not a lich.
and so, but she also wouldn't be fiendish or celestial, because it detects those as well. Unless, of course, she's using the mask thing that allows you to change your creature type and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's a magic items, I'm sure, that could cover that.
Yeah.
But as we've explained, Amity isn't a big fan of immortals inflicting their will on mortal life. So either A, she is a mortal that is just extending her lifetime, which he is pretty okay with. Like, he's fine. Like, the clone spell is tenuous enough that he's fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
Or she's immortal and she's messing with things and he's not okay with it.
Yeah, the way that
besides-
she's lived this long is kind of very interesting. I won't tell you what it is, but it is kind of interesting because you're both are correct and both are wrong.
She's switched out her heart with that of a dragon. She could be a
Yes.
dragon, come to think of it. She could be like a dragon, because they have true polymorph.
Yeah.
And dragons can live for
Very
absurdly
long
long
time.
times. So she would be around like what, Great Worm age at this point in time?
Yeah. All of the great worms that you guys have met were born during the Age of Wisdom.
So that's well before pre-trial.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So they're
theoretically,
all, 7 or 8 millennia old. But yeah.
I need a moment to ask her about a name in that case as well. I almost asked it last week, but it didn't fit in the conversation.
What's the name so I can prep?
Well, it's the name that you gave us.
Okay.
In
Of-
episode
Zood's Thrim.
Yeah, Zood's Thrim.
I see.
From way back in one of those episodes.
When the library was
Episode
destroyed.
4. Way back in episode 4.
Yeah, it was like 8 episodes ago. Wow, that was a while ago.
But yeah, so I'm gonna have to ask about Zoods at some point in time. I love the name Zoods.
It's such a good name.
I find it hilarious.
It's very funny. It's definitely very dumb.
Yeah,
but
it's like
it's
goofy.
also great. Yeah.
But as for the actual conversation itself, he's still weirded out because, as I said, he's like, "Hey, you know that I destroyed every dream you ever had," and she's like, "Yeah, I forgive you." And he's like, "Shut up.
Well,
you suck, and I don't forgive you."
Here's the thing. Okay, it's not so much that she's like, well, first of all, she doesn't think that you destroyed every dream that she has, because
yet,
in Wisteria's eyes, the fact that Avernus or Avernus is, presiding over them, is overall not all that big of a deal.
Is this what Lydia feels like? Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Drew.
yeah.
Thanks for.
You're welcome to join in on this conversation at any time, Drew. You were there for this conversation. You can give your feelings about it. It's okay. But
see, Drew, you've actually just been spoiled because it's just been you and me for the past several weeks. So I just only talk to you.
Yeah, but
it is true. I have been spoiled.
It's true. You were spoiled. But yeah, overall, she's like, yeah, it kind of sucks because it puts a damper on things. But like so far, they really just asked us to provide them with some pretty basic stuff, and then have left us to continue to do our experiments and do our different things.
Yeah.
And we are way smarter than them, so we're able to keep most of the stuff that we want hidden. So it's more just kind of like, oh, you caused there to be like a thorn in my side, not like you decapitated my whole plan.
Yeah,
that's kind of more what it is. So to her, while your whole life was ruined, to her it's like, oh, this is a little speed bump. Okay, whatever.
Fair. Also, goodbye, Regul.
Oh, bye.
Thanks for showing up.
Thanks for roasting me all day.
Yeah, and Abenthy's just so confused. Because he's like, I also think that in Abenthy's mind, it's much worse. Like avarice is much worse for them than it actually is.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because he has seen how bad avarice has been as well.
Yeah.
It was pretty messed up on either side of that war.
Yeah, 100%. They both did some really shady things.
But he is of course a little concerned. Apathy is not very trusting of people.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know who this person is that they're trying to resurrect. And so,
hey, Melora is great. Shut up.
That's not who he's talking about. Remember the deal that he made with Wisteria Vale?
I know.
You. I scratch your back, you scratch my back.
It was okay. It was a joke. Whatever.
No jokes on this cast.
Because Abenthy doesn't know who Melora is either.
Anyone is, and that's great.
Abenthy knows nobody.
I don't know Zoods.
And yet everybody.
Zoods Thrim, don't know who he is. Abenthy knows all of the unnamed NPCs. The moment they gain a name, he doesn't know them.
Fair.
But yeah, he's down. He's excited at the opportunity to potentially make something right. But at the same time, he's also very concerned because he's done a lot of things in the name of vengeance for Talanashta, and he knows that Talanashta would not appreciate that he did those things.
Hey, I brought you back. Also, I've been kind of a dick since you left, but
yeah, she's like, oh, well, what did you do after I died? And he's like,
I killed everyone.
Just traveled aggressively.
Like,
who did you kill? And he's like, I killed most people. And she's like, what? Literally, what is wrong with you? And he's like, I'm sorry. I okay?
I was mad.
I was upset.
Things got out of hand. I lost a little bit of control, okay?
And but now obviously he thinks that the benefits of bringing her back outweigh his own petty fear of her being upset with him.
Well, yeah.
I mean, she would be upset with him,
Oh, horribly. She may never speak to him again.
as
But
displayed by Melora.
yeah, exactly.
Laura isn't upset that you brought her back. Melora is upset that the first thing that she did was kiss you, and you didn't bother to go, "Hey, I'm in a relationship." You just stood there awkwardly like a doofus.
That's where apathy comes in.
I mean, that's what Cather does. He's an awkward
know.
doofus.
But also, I really had to channel my inner Hannah because I'm like, okay, if I was creating this character, it'd probably be no big deal. I try and create them a little bit more understanding. But Melora is typically someone who takes a little bit of time to process things and to be understanding of other people's
it also is
process.
like the immediate reaction for Melora is often
you're dumb.
Regardless of what it is, I have become upset. Eventually I will transition to something that is not upset, but it's like someone dies, I'm upset. But and like like anger, not like sadness.
No.
Yes,
very much so.
And I do 100% agree. It definitely feels like the most Melora reaction for her to not be talking to Cather right now. Yeah. I just find it somewhat amusing.
That was the point.
It's fine. It's here's the nice thing about it is Melora is used to Cather giving him Melora is used to Cather giving her attention, which means when he just chooses to not, then she'll notice. That's my secret plan.
That's your theory. You're going to avoid her until she's desperate.
Ah, yes, play hard to get. The classic
Cather is playing these games. He is out here and
to be fair though, him continuing to pester her isn't gonna help either. So
I mean, no.
Yeah,
I just love the fact
every single thing that you do is wrong.
It is, but it is but it is the thing of like, in all reality, that's the only way to really to at least that has worked in the past is.
Well, here's really what it is. It's not so much that anything that you do is wrong. It's that you've already done everything you can do, and so now it's up to her to do something.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So at this point, you just go, okay.
I just walk away.
I helped her come back. Okay. I tried to talk to her. She didn't want to talk to me. Yeah. Maybe I should have done my way of trying to talk to her a little bit better. I was kind of forced into the situation from Abinthy, so that didn't help. But I've done what I can. So now it's up to her to say, hey, I'm ready to talk at this point.
Yeah.
So
it'd be great. It'll be right before Cather dies. It'll be, on his deathbed. She'll be like, hey, by the way, I finally forgive you.
And then he's like, thanks. And she's like, how dare you? And like, then you die. But I'm interested to know from Drew, how do you think the conversation in the Death God Temple is going to go, assuming that we live through the next episode?
Assuming that we live through the next episode? Well, first, Cather has to get some of his own stuff figured out. Assuming that goes well and he doesn't get smited, then he's gonna invite Abinthy in. Also, side note, I'm really hoping that Cather can like pull some major strings and just have like the whole temple to themselves, because it might get a little ugly.
Yeah, some poor like understudy cleric is like, oh, I must fetch the holy water for the high priest, and then he just gets like caught up in a lightning blast.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Gets murdered.
Just gets murked. Yeah.
And then everyone's like, oh, we cannot be sending people into the temple. That's not
I mean, I think there is a higher probability of it going well than it going poorly.
How long do you think it will be before Abinthy blasphemes actively in the Temple of the Gods?
10 seconds.
Ooh, yeah, I give him like a minute tops.
Man, you are very forgiving.
I think you're gonna walk in, you're gonna be like, that's a really ugly statue, and then someone's gonna smite you.
I walk in and I go, death is a myth. Just immediately, you hold no power here. They just get murdered. I'm in. I'm absolutely in. But yeah, I'm very excited for.
Yes. I'm very excited. I'm very excited for the temple talk, because that will at least lead to the next thing that Cather wants to do. Hopefully. Maybe potentially.
Is it go fix your sword?
Possibly. Maybe.
Because that's where Abenthy
Assuming that the talks go well.
TJ's
But, we'll see.
I don't love this plan of like, I'm gonna go fix my sword.
No.
It seems very like, hey, I have no control in this situation, so I'm gonna do this thing to try and control the situation that I have no control over. Unless that sword was a gift from your gods, and it broke when you broke your oath. So you going and manually fixing it,
which is why I have to go talk to them.
It's not gonna help you. If anything, it's almost insulting. It's almost like, hey, instead of doing the thing that I should do, which is retaking an oath or doing whatever, I'm going to manually fix this to try and solve it on my own.
That's why I have to go talk to them. That's why I'm going to the temple.
That's why we're having temple talks.
Calm down. We're all friends here.
I know, DJ. I'm the one who came up with the idea.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry. That got a little aggressive.
Let's tone it down a little bit here, gang.
My sword. Okay.
It's mine. Also, tune in on Patreon for our new series, Temple Talks.
Eventually, one of these days, we'll have one of your and Grant's episodes, whatever it's going to be.
Yeah, the Steam Room, once we get that set
Steam
up.
Room, yeah.
Is that what you guys are calling it?
Oh, yeah. And it's just going to be Abenthy and Edward in character talking about lore. and just like we don't know where it's gonna. We're gonna both have like topics and stuff, and then talking is gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be
grand.
Now, see, here's my question, Aaron.
Yes.
Are you going to? Is the Steam Room going to continue after campaign 1?
That's a great question. I'm thinking a strong maybe.
Just because, personally speaking, part of me I love the idea of like we're in like campaign 2 or campaign 3, and like still every now and again like you just have Abenthy and Edward in a Steam Room making comments on what's happening in the current campaign.
Well, we'll have to see where Edward and Abenthy end up at the end of the campaign.
I have to interrupt for just a second.
What?
So Lydia said, "Mom, Dad, stop fighting," talking about Drew and I talking. And I was labeled the mom in that situation.
I think that's a strong position.
I love moms, but I literally have a hat that says dad life.
He does have a dad hat.
I feel like I'm happy to be a mother, but I feel like I more fit the role of a father, and I'm upset.
Also, DJ, I just now realized I have to do a thing.
Oh, Drew's gonna do a thing. DJ is best mom. I mean, I'm the best of whatever I'm gonna be, but look, we're both wearing bison hats.
There we go. Now we both have our buffaloes, or bison, I should say, not buffalo.
I don't know what else to say. The people have spoken.
The people have spoken.
I don't need a poll for this.
Demoted.
That's offensive to mothers.
That's a whole offensive thing. There's
Sorry,
no demotion from mom
I don't know
to
if
dad.
I can agree with you on that one.
That was Lydia.
Lydia, that's even worse. You're on the cast.
It's okay. You're just Mo now.
It's not Mother's Day, all right?
It's Mo Day. But yeah. Anyway, back to what you guys are talking about.
Oh shoot, I don't remember. But I mean, I've got to talk to. Oh, gotcha. Demoted from mom to Mo, not from dad to mom. Thanks for clarifying, Lydia. Much more okay with your statement now. But I need to go talk to Yorwick anyway, because Abenthy doesn't have an artifact that would represent Talanashta. He has like things that were made by her and that he cares about, but not necessarily something that was hers.
Mm-hmm.
Yorwick would have something of that. And
you guys get to do some fun travel and exploration.
So we have to go talk to Yorwick regardless. And I like the idea of both me and Abenthy like the idea of the act of having his sword be reforged as part of him retaking his oath.
Yes.
And also redefining his like position of like like it's kind of like redefining who you are in the company, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Rather than
In
being like, I have been given this position, it is one that I have chosen it.
In my mind, yes,
I stand by it.
it's very much the idea, the whole act of him reforging his sword again. Like, first of all, yes, he has to go to the temple first to even talk to them, be like if they would even want Cather back, and if
Yeah.
not, then he would have to pursue something else. Regardless, the sword would need to get reforged. But in my mind, it makes more sense for part of Cather retaking his oath, like say if he did become Oath of Destiny, is like, hey, if you actually want to become Oath of Destiny again, prove it. You go do this thing, go reforge your sword. It's not going to
like
be easy.
in the Lord of the Rings,
and
when
like
Elrond takes the shattered blade and reforges it in a scene that is not at all representing how you actually forge or reforge a sword.
Yeah, it
makes
horrible
no
forgery.
sense. And there's a bunch of glitter and sparks. But
anyway,
imagine if that made sense. And then Cather is our Aragorn, right? Elrond.
I mean,
How
I do
far can
already
I carry
have
this analogy?
I do already know the name of my sword, assuming like if he goes like the Oath of Destiny route again. I already know what the name of his sword would be, and it's kind of sick.
It's kind of sick. It's
not
not
that
quite
sick.
sick.
It's like
I mean,
it caught a
me
minor
saying it's
bug,
kind
like a
of sick
stomach
is like
bug.
just me being like trying not to like hype it up too much because I think it's really cool, but other people probably won't think it's all that cool.
Hey, what matters is if you care.
That's true.
But yeah,
It's what's in the heart that counts.
It's in the heart of the
Mine
cards.
and in my heart is just cholesterol.
That's funny.
But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what we do in this campaign. I'm excited to see this how long we live, because we could all just die next episode.
Who knows? Yeah,
that could just happen.
maybe
It's
we
a
just
thing.
TBK next episode.
Yeah,
That's
Campaign 2
almost
start.
happened before, and that's the closest I've come to having a panic attack on stream.
is when you almost TPK'd us.
No, shh, that didn't happen. Shh.
When we were in the Crimson Wastes and you threw like a challenge rating 25 dragon at us.
Which time that you almost killed us?
I mean, that was the closest time we actually came to TPK since 3 of us died, and like Renaya was at like 5 HP.
Also, thank you for the 8 months of subscription, weepiest user.
Nice.
Thank you for supporting us at the Paper Dungeon.
Today is a day of celebration, not weeping. Be happy.
But if you wish to weep,
if you wish to weep tears of joy, we respect it. Or if you're really sad that you've been supporting us for 8 months.
Yeah, you're like, my wealth.
Yeah, exactly. That's fair too. I respect that.
Yeah. So DJ, what do you think is gonna happen when we go to church? If we get to the church.
I think you guys are gonna show up. I think you're gonna talk. I think you're gonna do things.
Wow, thrilling.
I know, right? I don't know. It will be interesting because I'm never happy. Yeah, it will be interesting because the whole thing with Abinthy is going to be really, really interesting.
I'm most concerned about that one.
Yeah, the thing with Kath is kind of like, whatever. We can talk to you, sure.
Yeah, you know.
The whole thing with Abinthy is kind of like, I don't know how they're gonna feel. So it'll depend on how you roll. Times.
So it's
gonna require some fat charisma rolls.
I have like a +0.
Maybe Cather should do the talking.
So,
but it also kind of depends because how soon are you thinking you want to try and do this thing?
I don't know.
Next episode.
I mean, if we're able to make it to Athala next episode.
Not the temple talks. Actually, bringing back
like,
I mean, so here's the thing. Apathy doesn't even know if the gods of death have Talanash's soul.
Mm-hmm.
All he knows is that the devils don't, and the demons don't, and the Fae don't. But if they
use one likely source,
yeah, and if they don't have Talanash's soul, then they probably know where it is.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah. In all reality, the death gods don't hold on to very many souls. In fact, there's about 4
that you know of. Because this is Apathy's main problem is that, like, he knows that Talanash's soul is being held, and it is like not able to be acquired for resurrection.
Oh, interesting.
He knows that, like the devils don't have it because Glossia was like one of the first people he asked, and she was like, "Yes, I'll try to get it back," and then couldn't. And she was like, "There's nothing we can do. Her soul is already held, and we don't know where it is." He has a few demon connections. He literally basically called out and said, anyone who can get back Talanashta's, like, who can resurrect Talanashta for me can have my soul. You can have whatever you want from me. And no one was able to help him, and most of the gods just laughed. But hence him not liking gods much. Because at least the demons were like, the soul, yes, I'll help you. The gods were like, screw you, buddy. And he was like, yeah, screw you right back.
What's the thing from like the New York Bridge or whatever? You know, the echo that hates you or whatever?
Yes.
No, shut up.
So Abinthy has had no way of getting in contact with the gods of death. Obviously, they're hard for you to get in contact with, and you like were employed by them. And so he hasn't really had an opportunity. And then he, like, obviously he kind of ran out of time. Like, he was able to find people who could cast, like, true resurrection. Like, he went very similar to the Kiyomura path after wiping out the executioners. Of, like, I'm just going to travel around, and I'm going to find someone who can cast a spell strong enough to get her soul back, and none of them could. And so he was like, well, there's nothing I can do. But now that he knows that there is a ritual that can, assuming that you have the soul with you, resurrect someone. His only thing that he needs now is an artifact that represents Talanashta and Talanashta's soul, of which could be acquired either from the death gods if they have it, for whatever reason, whether or not he has to steal it from them or find a way to kill him.
Unbeknownst to you, Talanashta was one of the previous Paladins of Fate.
Who knows, dog? I don't know what's going on here.
Although that actually can't be possible because none of the previous gods of Paladins of Fate were elves. Or drow.
But yeah, he and if he can't get it from them, then he should be able to get the information of to where to get it from them. So that's why he needs to talk to the gods of death. I don't know which one would be better. I would love to threaten the gods of death in their own house, which I know would most likely end up with my immediate death. I'm okay with it. That's an Abinthy way to go.
My father was a worm. I'm okay with that now.
Yes. But
yeah, it will be interesting because
it's probably easier if they just tell him where it is and he can go get it.
Yeah.
Probably easier to rob someone else other than a god.
It depends on the god, but yeah.
The god of easy thievery.
Yes.
That's who I would like to have Talanashta's soul. The god of getting robbed.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I gotta think on some stuff then.
Yeah. I'll also, assuming that it's even possible to resurrect Talanashta in this campaign, I'm probably going to need to actually flesh out who Talanashta was as a person. Because I pretty much just had, this is Talanashta, she was very kind, very nice, very good person, blah, 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 but she's dead now, so you don't really need to know anything about her.
Yeah.
Well, shoot. If she's alive, then there's a problem.
Yeah. No, it'll be interesting, because I keep saying that, but I don't have...
It will be interesting. It isn't right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited because as we've seen, Abinthy is not one to like show respect towards people that believe themselves to be above Abinthy, even if they are.
And my favorite thing is that Abinthy believes himself to be above so many people.
It depends. If they are, Abinthy is actually more respectful to people that are weaker than him than stronger than him.
Yeah.
He's like, the moment that you are like, I'm better than you, Abenthy's like, I will ground you into dust. But if you're like, I think that we're all just people, Abenthy's like, you're right. We are just people. Thank you.
Welcome to Abenthy the philosopher
Yeah.
versus Abenthy the war criminal.
Yeah.
Two sides of the same coin.
Hey, he only became a war criminal because they were war criminals, all right?
Just because your friends were jumping off a bridge, does that mean you're going to do it?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Abenthy, here's the thing about Abenthy. Abenthy just reflects whatever he is up against. So if he is up against a god, then he acts as though he is one.
Mm-hmm.
He puts himself on the exact same level of whoever he is speaking to.
Great way to die.
Oh yeah. And
yet he hasn't yet.
And that's why Abenthy is just so great.
Next episode, it happens, boys.
Well, I think that's also why Abenthy has changed so drastically, because there was a very long time that he was like hanging around Talanashta. So he reflected like the kindness that was Talanashta. And then she was removed, and all that was left was the desiccated, murderous husk of who Abenthy was before he met her.
Wow.
Yeah. So, needless to say,
murderous husk.
I mean, that's pretty much what
try saying that
Abenthy was.
Fast.
Desiccated, murderous husk. Desiccated, murderous husk. Desiccated, murderous husk. Desiccated, murderous husk.
Close enough. But yeah, that's just like who Abenthy is when he doesn't have good people around him.
Why
to
he
reflect
needs the group.
Yeah, and he like got better for a while, and now they're dead. Basically, everyone who Abenthy had, who was a good influence in Abenthy, he either doesn't talk to anymore or is dead. And now he's old and codgery.
Yeah, that's
He's
funny.
calloused.
Sorry,
And
I
it's
have
up for
like
the
tape
group.
on my desk that I've
And
been
that's
trying
why
to
he
get off
fits
for a while.
in just great with the rest of
Because
us.
all of the rest of you are also just sad, broken, busted, gross people.
Yep, 100%.
And he's like, oh yes,
I think that's my favorite thing about D&D is just watching everybody become horribly broken.
Yeah.
You know, like nobody gets to escape happy.
Until
Campaign
the end
2,
of the
everybody.
season.
Campaign 2, everybody just plays joyful, happy characters that everyone hates.
Yeah,
That would be very, very different than, first of all, the main campaign and D&D stereotypes.
Yeah. Hashtag
I say
all
we do it.
bards, but no sad bards. No sad bards.
Hashtag no sad bards. Make it
Yeah.
a campaign.
Yeah, I'm overall just excited for where this campaign is going. Hey DJ, I have just one more question. You can just answer it first thing off the top of your head. What's up with the chrysalis? Come on, speed it up. This is like one of those improv exercises.
It's purple.
Okay,
made of
so
leaves.
I have a strong theory as to what it is because
it?
I have insider knowledge.
You have insider knowledge.
Yeah,
You read
What
his
insider
notebook.
knowledge do you have?
it's my girlfriend.
Okay. What do you think it is?
I'm pretty confident that it's her dad. That it's Atracil's dad in the chrysalis.
Oh, it's an interesting theory.
Nice cover, DJ. DJ's like, ah, crap, gotta cross that out now.
No, that's
You know what I hope is in the chrysalis? I hope that it is the corrupted mother goddess. That's what
or
I
just
hope.
Lon and Tari, but evil now.
Because we haven't seen Lon and Tari hasn't been around really for like
She hasn't been around since the trial.
the trial. So I'm just saying, where'd she go?
These are both very interesting theories, and I like them both. They're both really good theories.
Now, which
But
one
only
will he
one can be
choose for the
correct, DJ.
campaign? Unless Lon and Tari
That's
was
really interesting.
corrupted
Lon
by
and
the
Tari
physical
being gone.
form of your girlfriend's dad. So it's both. We're both right. I can only assume.
That's a really good
Question.
Also,
As
I
to
like how
where
DJ is
Juan and Dari
purposely
went?
avoiding my statement because it's correct.
Oh yeah, you think it's correct?
Oh yeah.
He's like, well, screw you. Now it's Lonatari.
Okay, well, see, here's the thing. It has to be connected to Aegisil in some fashion
Does it?
because Aegisil very clear is like, hey, look, like there is something I know, but there's something about myself that I have to tell you first. So it's very clearly connected to Aegisil.
I really hope that what she was going to say is like, we can't be together anymore. She called
Listen,
you there to break up.
You got your girlfriend back, so I really
Yeah,
feel
you
uncomfortable.
kissed another girl, and I'm super not okay with that. So I'm gonna leave. I know that you didn't, and she kissed you, and like I saw it because I'm God, but still.
But I'm upset.
Kinda weirded
Anyway.
out.
But Cather also knows like a little bit about Aegisil and her past, and specifically like how it relates to her father. So I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty confident in this guess, DJ. I will be only slightly upset when you do something else because it feels like this is the correct route.
The beauty of this is that see here's the thing that I love about where we are right now.
The secret answer is DJ doesn't even know who's in the crystals yet.
Here's
You
the
know,
thing that I love
actually, that is
about,
pretty fair.
here's the thing that I love about this right now is that this is the part of the campaign that I've had planned for 3 years. You know, we're getting to the end game. For those of you at home who are looking to plan a campaign, here's how I recommend doing it. Figure out the ending and then work backwards from there.
And get caught on a few pirate arcs along the way.
So I'm just very excited about this, and I'm excited to hear your guys' thoughts and your theories. And I'm not going to tell you anything about whether any of you are correct or not, because I will not have my campaign ruined for a second time by Aaron.
Hey, I'm real confused. I didn't think that I ruined it.
You didn't ruin it at all.
So question: have you completely abandoned the whole like rod thing? Like, is it not a part?
I'm not gonna tell you anything.
Well, I'm just saying you abandoned. Like you said I ruined it. So
No, stop it. No, go away.
Oh,
I told
shoot,
you I'm
now
not
I
letting
can't
you do.
reveal anything.
I'm not letting you break anything else. I'm telling you
So I
nothing.
did break it, is what you're saying.
No, you didn't break it. You just figured it out too soon.
Ha 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 ha! My intense knowledge of Dungeons and Dragons.
That was stupid.
I'm sorry. You
I mean,
picked
and to be
something
fair-
that is from stuff that I know.
And to be fair, DJ has in game repeatedly been like, "Hey, don't do this thing anymore." So I think that's a pretty clear indication that DJ gave up on it.
No.
Okay.
It just means that now the enemies can go do it. He's like,
bad guys can
you're
go get
figuring
the
way
rest
too
of
much
the
about
pieces
this
of
too
the rod.
fast.
And then we're holding the last one. We become the Vision with the Mind Stone as Thanos comes to rip it out of Renaya's hand.
And Cather is definitely our Captain America.
I mean, yeah,
Where
okay,
you're
so
like,
Cather would
and
be
this
the
whole,
Captain
like, we're trying to hold
America.
open his hands.
Gratz is Wanda.
Yes.
Renaya is obviously
I don't know.
Vision.
I feel like
And
I
Abinthy,
feel like-
Abinthy is Thor.
no. See, I feel like Abinthy is Wanda because she's like the morally gray character.
That means I
is
get to
super
kill
powerful.
Renaya. That fits.
Well, no, because see, the whole thing is Vision has the Mind Stone, so in other words, Renaya has the rod, and it's the lover that has to destroy the other person. So it has to be. So
I think it
Wanda
does
has
fit.
to be Gratz.
No, they don't.
Yes.
That's not how this works. But
And no, and here's the thing. Abinthy also has to be Thor because he's the one who actually comes close to killing Thanos before he pulls off the snap. And
I
Abinthy
personally
canonically
think
is going to
that,
kill God.
Abinthy is Rocket Raccoon. I think
Fair.
that's much more accurate.
that's
to
probably
who
the best
Abinthy
casting I've
is.
heard for Abinthy. Yeah.
Because Abinthy absolutely totally is the person who would try to steal random limbs from people.
I was just gonna say
Like,
that.
that is absolutely an Abinthy move. He's like, that's a really sick like pinky finger you have. And they're like, no. Abinthy's like, yes.
So yeah, nonetheless, I'm just gonna sit here quietly while you guys theorize and scheme and plan, and then hopefully, you guys don't guess exactly what happens, or you're still surprised, or you're pleasantly content with whatever happened, or you just hate it and
See,
you
here's
have
the
to deal
thing.
with it.
I just need to figure it out on stream because then it'll be really good content. So I need to only think about it while we're playing the game, and then I can be our Marisha, and I can be digging through my correction. I can go up to Lydia's room and dig through her notes. Because between Lydia and I, we form the two halves of Marisha. We have the note taking skill, and then the like I'm just
Detective.
the push pin person.
Yeah.
Who just puts the pins in the wall, and I steal Lydia's notes. And I'm like, wow, these are immaculately done. and then
She does have amazing notes. It's kind of ridiculous how good Lydia's
The
notes
notes
are.
goblin,
They're
Aaron.
absurdly good. Yes. Also, Handskate has told me multiple times how much she hates that I use the same notebook for like every campaign.
Yeah. No, I hate it too.
Multiple people do. I find it hilarious because I don't take a whole lot of notes, so it takes me like 2 pages. This is actually the most notes I've ever taken for a campaign.
That's so exciting. That's such a good compliment.
And let me tell you, they have been steeply decreasing since the first episode that Abinthy was there. It's like I have like
Episode 1, Abinthy wrote down everything.
Episode 1 is like this page and then that page, and then episode 2 is like we got about 3/4 of a page. Episode 3, we actually made quite a bit of progress in episode 3, almost a whole page. Episode 4 back to 3/4. Episode 5 we don't even make it to a half. Episode 6 we don't make it to a half. Episode 7 is just a list of side quests. Episode 7 we have 2 words. Episode 7 I just have written down Chrysalis Requiem. I don't know what any of that means. Episode 8 we have a whole sentence. Doesn't actually correction. The sentence was just a thing that I was going to say in episode 8, and I wanted to have it written down so I knew what it was. And then we have the word bell. B-E-L.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only actual note according to episode 8. I don't even have a page for episode 9. Episode 10 is just a listing of the people I have working in the keep.
Nice.
Which consists of Ricardo, Fernando, and Coco. Because I wanted all of them to end with O.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 11, I don't have. Episode 12, I have a list of the names of the group, the secret group, super secret people, Mustafa, Vivian, and Eveline, but I don't have their last names. I also have Clovar, which I think is the name of the person that I'm supposed to resurrect. Is that right? Is that the person that Wisteria wanted me to save?
Yes. That's her friend. Yeah.
Episode 13, I have Vow to Goddess, Protect Purple Chrysalis, Desire to Conquer. And then that's all the episodes. So it's been steadily decreasing. I have so much on the first episode, though.
I mean, to be fair, though, in the amount of lore drops with the first episode to the most recent has also decreased.
And I think the first episode was actually my one shot, so I kind of had to take notes on that because I was the only one there. So I'm trying.
I appreciate it.
No, this is my new notebook. This is the one that the first part is entirely just I have the guest one shot. I have this is the one shot in my old world. I have this is a bunch of just one shots that I ran for the paper dungeon. And then in the back of it I have Between the Rows.
Nice.
Oh, I have multiple notebooks and all of them are scattered between different campaigns.
Yeah, no, I understand that as well. I have I'm looking currently at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different notebooks that all 10, 11, 12 13. 13 different notebooks right over here that all typically have to do with D&D things.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. See, you gotta understand. So right now, my notebooks have less variance to the campaigns that they relate to than when I first started playing D&D. Because when I was playing D&D, I started in high school, and there was a strong year where I played in a different campaign every day.
Yeah.
And sometimes there were 2 campaigns in the same day.
Yeah.
So what would I do? I would just use my school notebooks and have and like I would have like multi topic notebooks that were split between things. So I'd have the first 3 be like actually for school. Then I would dedicate the last 2 to Dungeons and Dragons stuff. But I only had one notebook, so I would have like a different section in the notebook for like different campaigns. So in my notebook was just like 17 different campaigns, all in the same notebook.
That was an intense like 9
It was
months.
yeah, it was not healthy.
When we were playing,
Like
I don't
every
think I
night
was
of the
playing as
week?
many as your games, but I remember when we were playing like 4 or 5 games a week because we each had a different campaign, and that was a lot.
Yeah, it was
It
wild.
was a lot.
Man, when we were young, crazy.
I know, right? Could not imagine playing D&D that
Now
much
we're
nowadays.
like, we're like
gosh.
once a week.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
let's do
nowadays,
it.
once a week, maybe twice. I'm content.
Yeah. It also helps that we were living in Nebraska, so there was literally nothing else to do.
Fair. But yeah, so yeah, thanks for judging my use of the tools that I had, Handskate.
I do find it amusing. Meanwhile, I have 3 different notebooks
For Catherine.
for the same campaign. not because they're filled with notes. So I have this notebook, which is my first like D&D notebook, which half of it is like different D&D mini campaigns, one shots, and like the start of this campaign, and then half of it is like old sketches of just doodles and varying levels of impressiveness, just little sketches that I've made.
That feels right.
But then I got a different notebook that I liked better that I started to fill in, and then like last Christmas, DJ got me my current notebook, and I'm like, ooh, this is really cool. So then now I'm on this one.
That is a cool
Give
notebook.
you a book.
I love the
Very
soft leather
next
notebooks.
day,
I wish I had
you
more.
threw me a hook. Yes, yeah.
So like if I'm doing a deep dive into my note taking, I have to I'm like, okay, how far? Let's see. It's
Which episodes was this from?
Oh man,
like let's see, episodes
my
1
goodness,
through 10 are in this
notebooks
notebook.
Yeah.
Is so hard because like so I've seen Lydia do it, and Lydia's really good at it. Where she'll like she like goes through the notebook and writes down exactly the things that she needs to write down in the next notebook. Me, I just start where I left off.
Yeah.
And I have no idea where that is.
The beautiful thing that Lydia does is she wants her notes to be organized. Her and I have the same desire. She's just willing to put the effort into it.
Yeah.
Where she wants her notes to be organized. So she has one notebook where she does all of her like brain dumping into, and then she has her actual notes notebook where she like organizes all of it.
Wow.
And that's awesome and it's impressive, but that's so much extra work for a notebook.
So my thing is, right, my mind remembers things that I know that I can use, right? And so a notebook is just a way for me to trim down on what my brain needs to remember. So instead of remembering what's actually in the notebook, I just need to remember something that relates to this is in the notebook towards this direction.
Yeah.
So then when it pops up, I know to go, and then it will jog my memory of what I need it to be. So the rest of all of my knowledge of the campaign is just in my own mind.
Yeah. My thing that I really need to do, so there's a book that I want to get that's titled How to Build a Second Brain. And the idea behind it is to use either like use your computer basically to create notes that are like searchable, and you can search them by content or date or whatever, and you can kind of build your own library of your own thoughts. So the idea behind the book is that you're journaling every day and you have your thoughts on different subjects and stuff like that. But I really want to do it too for Nico Muris, because I have 4 different notebooks or binders that are full of like world lore and stuff like that. And so anytime that I like have to on the fly find something, it sucks because I go, wait, where is that? I think it's in this
Mm.
one. Oh, it's not in this one. Okay, so it's going to be in this one. So I'd love to be able to. That's why I started doing my notes online, my campaign notes,
It's a lot easier to
because or
search
my
and find
session
them.
notes, because I want to be able to be like, okay, in episode 14, what did we do? Or around this episode, what was the thing? Or all that different type of stuff. And so, yeah, it's a lot of work.
So one of the things, so I've been looking into. There's a program called Foundry Virtual Tabletop,
Mm-hmm.
which is I know I've showed the rest of the cast, but for the people listening, it's very similar to like Roll20, in that it's like a virtual tabletop kind of situation that you can like build your own maps and your own like stuff like that. Handscape, if you use it, what I've seen on their website that they have a like world map system where you can set up like specific markers for important locations and then add lore and like notes to it, and your characters and players can add to said notes on the world map and like mark it, like put a pin in like this is where we met the guy that gave us that quest and stuff like that. I love that idea. I would literally use like a program that did that just for that. Like that would be such a
for the quest
cool
markers.
resource to have, where it's like actually if you refer to your map and then the players can just like pull up a map and be like, where were we, and search through their pins. Oh, and you can, there's literally like a search engine included in the world map if I remember correctly, where you can pull up like, oh shoot, the merchant NPC that asked us to find 4 bearskin rugs or something like that, and then it can like search up where it is on that map, and it's like, oh yeah, we met him in Vadabia, the merchant city or whatever, I don't know. And then it shows you where that is on the map. As a DM, you can also have it like transition to like a location on the map that has a predetermined battle map and stuff like that. I love that kind of nonsense. I have not had the time to look as much into Foundry as I want, but just that aspect alone, I was like, this is sick.
This right here.
This is that's hot. Oh, that's hot. In the words of Will Smith. But yeah, I might have to.
I definitely did not just go order that book.
I'm gonna have to look in my spare time with all of my spare wealth into Foundry and see if I can. I might try to start setting that up for the paper dungeon, like for Nico Muris.
That'd
Like
be
if I can get a like picture of your map, I could digitize said map, and then even if it's just a bare bones like black and white kind of deal, hook up markers for where events happened in the campaign, where cities are, how that works, and then especially like visibly see it as a frame of reference.
Just started a new project last week, and I think it's honest. I think I might actually be able to finish it, which is exciting. But it's a new map that we're making. But it's a version of the Great Wheel, of the Cosmic Wheel, whatever you want to call it. But there's actually a place in the center, so there will be an actual map of the material plane in the center, and then the rest of the map will be all of the planes around it. So it's going to be really awesome, especially because I don't actually have to like draw each individual plane. I'll do the iconography that they have in the Great Wheel at the back of the plane at the back of the player's handbook. So all I have to do is make a map, a world map that's like this big, which is way more doable than doing a world map that's like this big.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I spent like an hour and a half trying to print out an oval that I could trace onto this map because that was difficult. But I'm really excited about it because I'll be able to put little like arrow stickers, the little sticky note things, on like where different people are and help you guys track where things are and stuff like that. So maybe I'll work on that a little bit later today. I'm excited about it, but I want to learn how to draw these things online because that would make my life so much easier.
Well, I mean, there even might be a lot of ways that you can do it physically and have a physical copy and then just transfer it digitally, either through tracing, or there may even be programs that are able to just recognize the lines on the page and then automatically transfer them digitally.
Yeah, that would be really nice because I definitely like the physical aspect of it, like doing it pen and paper style. My laptop is designed to. It's an artistic laptop, and so it's designed for you to actually like buy the pen that's compatible
Mm-hmm.
with it, draw on it, and all that type of stuff. I just haven't bought the pen yet, and then I kind of forgot about it since I've had the laptop for like a year.
Oof.
So yeah, maybe I'll try and do that again. We'll see.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah,
How long on average do you think that it takes you to make a basic map? Like
like
a map of like a map that you would be proud of.
it just depends on the size. Like um, I don't know. I'd say probably like 10 hours, maybe 20.
Okay. See, this is, and I don't know if this is the case with a bunch of other people who like don't do a lot of art or are like getting into it. Knowing how long it takes to do stuff
Mm-hmm.
is really strange to me, and it's hard for me to understand because like when I see a thing, especially, and I think this is the case a lot with like people who don't do any art, because like I'm starting to understand it more, like how long it takes you to actually do something.
Mm-hmm.
But they just see the finished product and you kind of just go, oh well, I mean, how long could it have really taken them, when in
Yeah,
reality someone's like, yeah, I spent over like 70 hours
yeah,
doing
yeah, yeah.
this thing, and you're like, what?
Yeah, and it definitely depends on how detailed I go. My maps aren't like if you look up my favorite map maker, she's extremely popular because she's probably the best out there. Her name is Misty B on Instagram. She's an amazing cartographer and an amazing artist, and she combines the two to make these maps that are like literal works of art. It's absolutely incredible. And so, if I were to try and do something like more her style, then it would take me like 30 to 50 to 200 hours because
Mm-hmm.
like she goes in and she has for each individual city she'll draw like a cityscape in a little bubble for each city on the map, and she draws like every individual tree and the borders. Oh my gosh, the borders on her maps are literally so freaking amazing. It's incredible. uh
Absolutely.
so like trying to do something like that would be intense. I try because I don't do it professionally and it's just like a fun hobby that I do on the side and more of a resource for D&D rather than like I want to create this beautiful piece of art.
Yeah, like this is what you
Um
want to do.
I don't, I don't want to spend 50 hours making a thing. Cuz first of all, if I embark on a project like that, just knowing myself, I probably won't finish it. I'll get,
Mm-hmm.
day 3 into it and then I'll be so sick of it that I just won't ever touch it again. Um, so I try and embark on things that I feel like I can actually accomplish and are within my abilities, or maybe just outside of my abilities to help expand them, because that's how you get better. You
Yeah.
want to do things that are just beyond what you're comfortable doing. Um, but yeah, it's definitely an interesting thing. Art's crazy, dude.
Yeah,
I wish I was better
because
at
I
it.
know, like in my limited experience of art, because I've made some things that are pretty good,
Yeah.
some things that are not as good. Um, like there was one point in time. This was like 3 years ago. This was like pre the paper dungeon, but not by that much. I was like, yeah, I'll give a shot at drawing something. And the thing that I wanted to draw had like chainmail.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't do it because I'm like, I'm like,
So
I
many little
feel like
circles.
this should go faster.
Yeah.
And then when I like tried to speed it up, and it just ended up looking real bad because
Yep.
it doesn't. You can't make it go faster.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that was like at the time I like didn't understand. I'm like, I must be terrible at this. When in reality, I'm just bad at doing art slowly.
Yeah. Well, and it's crazy. Like there's the saying that like, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. And that
Mm-hmm.
is so true. You really have to like master your system and
Oh yeah,
your style and the design behind it before you can really learn how to do it efficiently, which
yep.
is crazy.
And I'm man. Every time I pick up a pen or try to do anything art wise, I just think to myself, I wish that I would have like been doing this when I was like 7.
Yeah,
Because
I
man,
know.
I've like so many years I missed out on. I'm in an art class right now, like an actual like art class in college. Oh my goodness. Most of the time I'm like, yeah, I have like some amount of fun. I kid around. Recently, I discovered something that I already knew, but I didn't realize how much I disliked it. I hate color. I hate it. I just don't like it. Like this whole time we've been doing like black and white, like charcoal and stuff like that, and just still lifes and stuff. Then the last assignment of the year is using pastels, not like oil pastels. It's not paint.
Yeah, but like chalk pastels.
Yeah, something akin to that. It's more like a fancy crayon, and I can't remember the name of it. Every day is like torture. Literally, I'm sitting there, and I don't know if it's because one of the realizations I had is that I might just actually see color differently than people.
Maybe a little colorblind.
I don't even know if it's color. It's almost like I see more color than other people do. Because like in the assignment that I had, there was a brick, and I was trying to draw this brick, and at one point in time, I asked the professor, who I will simply call B, because that's what we call her. I was like, "Hey B, just for fun," because she's like trying to advise me on how to do this. And I say, "What color would you say that brick is?" She goes, "Maybe kind of like a ruddy, brownish red." I said, "I would say that brick is purple." And she goes, "Oh, do you want the brick to be purple?" And I say, "No, I just see it as purple." And it's the weirdest thing.
Like a reddish purple? Kind of like a maroon?
Like bruise purple. Like that's
it. Sounds like colorblind.
But I'm not. Doctors, I've done the things. And I know that there is red, though, like ruddy brown. But the underlying base of the color is purple.
There's a guy on TikTok who he like color matches.
I can't do that. I'm
swatches.
I hate that nonsense.
No.
One of my worst experiences working as like a retail employee, I was just minding my own business. I was working in the like the tote section, and this very kind woman walks up to me. She goes, Sir, what color is this?" She holds up a little tub. She's like, "Is this blue or is this green?" And I'm looking at it and I go,
"I think it's gray."
Green? And she goes, "It's aqua." And I'm like, first of all, that was not on the list. Second of all,
you tricked me.
Second of all, why are you asking me this? Do you like the color or do you not like the color?
Yeah.
That's the question here.
That would be very annoying. That's just rude.
But that's like, that is an ongoing thing with me where people will be like, "What color is this?" And I'll be like, "Oh, that's like blue." And they're like, "That's yellow." And I'm like, "I don't think it is."
What color is this blanket, Aaron?
On screen, kind of like a bluish gray.
I would agree with that.
See, like with the muted colors,
it's actually teal, but on screen it definitely looks like a bluish gray.
Teal.
Yeah.
I'll send you a picture. I don't even know if I know what colors are. Like when you say teal, a color does not come to mind as to what color.
What even is color?
I just know that teal is kind of bluish.
It looks, wow, the camera does not do this color justice. Never mind.
Anyway, take it back.
Maybe I'm just blind.
But yeah, I've been honestly wondering, like, you know how like some people have like weird cones that pick up color. I'm starting to wonder if that's me, because I'm like, I know what I'm seeing, but my brain also tells me that is not what it is. Yeah. So I know that I'm wrong, but I can't deny what my eyes see when it comes to color.
Well, it's also there's that really interesting theory of like all of us see color differently, but because none of us can see what someone else is seeing. Like, you know, I say this is blue, but in reality, like to you, it actually looks like this color, but you've always known this color to be blue, even though we're seeing two very different things. So you're like, yeah, it's blue, but I'm like, no, it looks like, if I saw it through your eyes, I'd be like, no, it's red. Yeah, it's crazy. I love that theory because it's just so mind-blowing.
It is certainly interesting. But yeah, so that has garnered a just hate for color from me. And guess what I have to do today? I have to go pick up that project and finish it. So that's what I'm doing after we're done here.
Some Apex, so
I think I can afford like a game, but we also have a
That's all we
tonight.
need
for the Patreon content.
Yeah, check out.
We just
Patreon,
need one game for the Patreon
DJ
content.
Attempting to learn how to play Apex Legends.
It's gonna be bad.
It's gonna be bad. Well, we are rather off topic. Does anyone else have any more Dungeons & Dragons / main campaign related questions? This also goes out to you, the viewers, and you,
I have
the
none.
cast and crew. Drew, you've been silent for a while.
I have been.
Anything you want to
I've
talk
been
about?
actually. So if you want to deep dive into my thoughts as of late, I've actually been since I pulled out my old notebook that has some of my old sketches. I've been looking at those, and then I've been more recently thinking, man, like maybe I really, I should just go for it. I should just actually try to get good at art like Aaron does.
I mean, I've been pretty off. I have not had the time to really try recently, but
Recently, yeah.
been I've been attempting. Been
Yeah, so that's what's currently going through my brain. I'm like, man, maybe I should. Maybe I should
I've
just
I've
go for
been
it.
severely slacking off, and by slacking off, I mean I've been barely able to breathe for the past 4 months. So
Oof.
slacking
Makes
off,
a difference.
gotta be better. Um, but if we have no more active questions that actually relate to the paper dungeon, to the campaign we play, or to RPGs in general, TTRPGs, I'm going to say that this is probably the time when we need to call it.
Probably.
That's
Also,
probably...
big shout out to Hands, as she has been, or they have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
You're
12,
actually you're
13,
actually
14,
counting.
15, 16,
You're
17,
actually
18,
counting.
19, 20, 21,
Why are
22,
you
23,
counting?
24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33.
He just keeps going.
They have been the last 33 messages in our chat.
Welcome to the Table Scraps.
It's great.
Yes, thank you, Handscape, for being here, as well as all the others who tuned in. Those who were here at the beginning, those who were here at the end, we appreciate all of you.
Mm-hmm.
But that is probably going to be the end of Table Scraps today. As I always refer to our previous plugs that I don't particularly want to recount. So I'm not going to, because this is my show and I can do what I want. Thank you, DJ and Drew, for stopping by today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for humoring me as I talked mainly about myself.
You're welcome.
As for the rest of you, the only thing that I have left to say, other than tune in on Monday, and we'll be back next Thursday, as far as I know, is good luck and Godspeed, everyone. We will see you next time, Dungeoneers.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Bye-bye. Nice.